Hello there, my name is Ina, I'm an interior designer, and today I'd like to welcome you into this beautiful Richmond Hill home. We're going to talk about staging in a minute, but before that, let's take a quick tour. Come on in. Just want to mention it's a gorgeous home. So we've got a living room and a dining room across from each other. They both feature a lot of texture, a lot of detail, a lot of personality overall in this house. I love the black and white, creates contrast. I do love the different shades of gray, creates a really nice flow. But my favorite is probably this feature wall. Isn't it beautiful? Very, very different and unique. You know, with wall art, black and white pictures, it just makes it all work together very well. What I do want to pay attention to, given that we're going to talk about staging the house, is a lot of detail, a lot of accents. Accents is something that make a house into a home, one of the most important things to, to have that effect. However, if you want to stage a house, you want to get rid of, I wouldn't call it clutter, but tiny vases or even medium-sized vases, and family photos, personal items like that. Speaking of family photos, we're going to go into a family room. Family room is always the heart of the house. And this one is really, really beautiful. So, as I mentioned before, you want to get rid of personal items. And the reason for that is basically because when your potential buyers come in, you don't want them to be distracted. Let them pay attention to the layout of the house and other things that are important. One more thing that I suggest you do, or at least consider doing, is adding a fresh coat of paint. You don't need to change colors, but just really just freshen up a little bit, especially if you have kids. I'm sure you're going to have scratches. Make the house look clean and crisp. And on a subconscious level, when your potential buyer walks into that house, or in this house, or any house that is up for sale, it's just so welcoming for them because they feel like the house is already ready for them to move in. So keep that in mind. And last but not least is zoning or layouts. For example, if you deal with space that's pretty straightforward, let's say like this one, you have your dining room, you have your family room, you know where it is, you can't go wrong. But what if you have an open concept space? Now, open concept space is a little bit trickier, and the reason why is because it might work for you. You don't entertain, you don't do big, dinner parties, so you use that huge space for family lounging. That's great, it worked for you, but what if you're trying to sell it to, you don't know actually who you're trying to sell it to, so you don't know who's going to walk into that door. I mean, you can guess, who your potential buyer is, but you really want to consider all of them. You never know. So even if it's an open concept space, you don't need to build walls to have zones separated, sectioned out. What you can do, you can use furniture, you can use accessories, you can use plants even to just zone out a few spaces. Just put a little table with a few chairs. There you go. There's your sit-down area, your little entertainment area, no matter the space. So if I were to pick my most favorite tips on staging, those would be the ones. Let's recap. Get rid of clutter and little items, make it fresh and clean. Add a fresh coat of paint to create that really nice welcoming ambience, on a subconscious level for your potential buyer. And of course, point out the different zones: dining, family, breakfast area in the kitchen, obviously, and the living room if you can. Okay? So if you want to hear more tips, if you want to hear more tips, I hope you tune in next time, and I really wish you good luck in purchasing and buying. Thank you.